Good Tuesday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV. Wow, thought I hit the button for my barn doors to open, but I guess I did not, everybody. Wow, hot. Hot. It's really just humid, hot. It's really, in some ways, kind of like the Florida weather. I mean, when I go down and see my parents, but now I should say father, I mean, for so many years I've been down there, and the heat is just, it's bad. As you probably know, the stories are, a lot of people move to Florida, but only to turn around and leave. Anybody know those stories? Wow. I mean, it is so, but anyways, if you've lived in Florida, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it is true. Many people from the Northeast move down, or just a colder, the change of season states. Many people retire down in Florida, and they don't have a second home. And they get down there, and after a good few years, even a year or two, I think a lot of people are like, no way, man. I just can't take this never-ending heat. So, it kind of just slows you down. That's the reality. And in my business, being out in the field, having to work and this stuff, it's like, it's just because you just sweat all day long. Here we are, coming across the driveway, and it's something, everybody. The driveway has become an empty space. It's just slowly becoming what it used to be so many years ago. It's just a few cars that I actually owned, and not much more than that. And being a kid, doesn't have a truck here, and the wife's off to work, and the banks don't like me because I don't like to pay them every month. How about that, right? All right, let me get inside here, get the dogs out, see how they're doing. What are they torn up? For the most part, the whole crate thing really is working. But like last night, I didn't even come. It was like after 10 o'clock before I even came in to the house. So the dogs haven't really been crated up that long. And let's see what they're doing. It's going, nope. Well, how about there, pups? Let's see how it looks. And there they are. Good pup. All right, come on. Come on, Will. Come on, Will. It's hot of it. Yeah, you can see that for the most part, they do a great job. All right. All right, you rascals. Come on, rascals. Let's go. Come on, puppies. Wow, what a big difference. It's so crazy in how the summer from the winter to the summer, winter months, it takes me like forever to get dressed. I'm 3-4 layers deep. I mean, it's a project. Here in the summer, man, you just jump out of bed and throw on a shirt and some shorts, and you're good to go. So that is one nice thing about the warmer months. Is, man, it's just, you just like, Florida, go to Florida, and it's just like bing, bam, boom. You're good to go. Up here in the winter months, it's a major project. I'll never forget being in car forums. One guy was funny. He used to be like, the hardest thing I do every day is just getting dressed because he's older. But, once you get older in life, you start to understand it's challenging to get dressed. I mean, especially if you're not the most athletic person, being, we all seem to get more loving in our life, get bigger. Yeah, and getting rid of that bigness isn't easy. All right, pups. Good Lord. The dogs just eat it all up, everybody. My good friend Chris is texting me at 6:30 this morning. You ought to get this new exhaust for your, come here. Come on, Ginger. You ought to get this exhaust for your blah, 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 for your rocket. I'm thinking, why? I'm like, Chris, why? Chris is funny. He loves to just modify whatever he owns on a motorcycle. He buys a motorcycle, he just wants to modify the hell out of that thing. If you saw me riding with him this past Friday, you'll see his motorcycle has every accessory possible that you can change on that Harley. And so he just loves to have those projects. And but for me, I think the exhaust sounds great, Chris. But he doesn't watch my channel. and per se. All right, let's get over here and get over there. Get some more bowls. It's the projects, everybody. It's the projects. I've been watching the Mark Twain, Ken Burns documentary and the Ernest Hemingway documentary. You know, and I was thinking to myself the other day, I was never the person, the kid, that got into sitting around and reading books. And I was never who I was, couldn't do it. I'm just too hyperactive. Always had to be doing something besides sitting there reading a book, which to me as a kid was boring. I didn't understand learning on, you know, the life of others. But here's the thing. It's incredible on how my YouTube channel, you can honestly say that you all have watched my channel on my life experiences. I think most here can agree that I've disclosed a lot of my life's challenges, of the happiness and the sadness, and it's pretty incredible that I never even knew because I didn't read. I was never the person. I was a guy reading the four-wheel magazine and the car magazines and motorcycle magazines, whatever. That was my fixation, and so it's incredible on how, for like Mark Twain, he had his fictional characters in all his writings of truly just him. He shared the true life experiences of him growing up, Huckleberry Finn. I mean, I'm sure you understand that story. And he was during the Civil War, the separation of the black versus white. So, which that Huckleberry Finn, the novel, is hitting that right on the head. And so it's just incredible on how these individuals made great fortunes from just telling the stories of their own life, but twisting it, and just to look at Mark Twain, it's incredible on how his incredible success and the monies that he made were all ruined because of his terrible investments and his happiness. He wasn't happy. It was never good enough, I guess. And how he really went broke. He went bankrupt, basically, and he had to get some big wealthy individual to help him out, and he agreed for the monies that was given to pay his debts that he would travel the world and do his on-stage performance, which exhausted him. But he was very loyal. He only had one wife. And so for his story, you look at him and you think, what was his vice in life? It was he couldn't manage his money, which in the end, in so many ways, ruined him, and the loss of his wife at a very young age, per se. And so I just thinking to myself, wow. But then, now I'm watching the Ernest Hemingway series, and it's like a whole different story of a man who had a woman. Basically, he had 4 marriages. He was a controller. I mean, you step back, and what was his vice in life? It was the women. He could never be satisfied with a woman, to the point that he was married 4 times, and then he had a very huge drinking problem, and it's interesting how he was in World War I as a Red Cross volunteer that just about killed him. And then in World War II, he was a journalist, a very active journalist in World War II. It just about killed him. But once again, his whole stories, his success was in so many ways of his own life's experiences that he used different fictional characters to write these books that made him very, very wealthy. So I guess what I'm trying to convey to everybody here this morning is it's incredible how I myself on my YouTube channel have done so much to share with you who I am and what I do and all my addictions and all my downfalls as well. But did I write a book, or did I make it famous such as these other individuals did because of them saying there's... But I get it. I'm not trying to compare me to Mark Twain and Ernest Hemingway, but I just never really stepped back and realize those two very well known. I mean, say no, Mark Twain was one of the most well known persons in the world, and then Ernest Hemingway took his place of being one of the most well known people in the world from his literature and his writings. So once again, I just thought, wow, that's something, because I know over the years I've been on my channel, people have in some ways attacked me in some ways because it's all about me. It's all about me. But it's like, okay, well, it's my YouTube channel, so why wouldn't it be all about me? I mean, and this is what's interesting. You take a guy like Ken Burns, and he's been very successful. How do you like the new look? Yeah, I'm just thinking as I progress in life, I can't beat the looking young anymore and wearing the hats all the time. Sometimes gets old, and I've been wearing hats for years just trying to cover the fact that I don't have much hair anymore. And now that I'm just shaving my head for the most part, I'm just on the page now, like, yeah, whatever. I can tell people all the time, if it's all about your looks, you failed. If it's all about your looks, you failed. And so many people in this world that are beautiful people, and I'm sure would agree that they failed because the beauty didn't bring them the true happiness in their life, and they're just really weird individuals. So I get the dogs outside, close the barn doors, but I got good old Rebel out there pooping outside, which that's a great thing. So, but Ken Burns, I think that he was a really smart guy, because he has taken the history of our country, and he's used that by explaining the history of our country, by sharing the true stories of who Mark Twain was, of sharing the stories of Ernest Hemingway. So in his aspect of life, Ken Burns, he didn't write a story about himself to become famous. He wrote stories about what was already the history of our country using others. And so I thought that was pretty good. How about the NHRA at Richmond? I didn't really watch it, but apparently Tony Stewart apparently hurt himself a few weeks ago. And in his the final, I think he made the final, he choked. But he claims it's because he's got a medical issue. And then one of the other guys that won the top fuel, they come to find out, he didn't put all the bolts in the bell housing for protection. No, for the protection of the bell housing from the possibly it blew apart. So he was stripped, and Justin Ashley got the win for that. Here it is. It's really warm out, and I got to go do a job downtown, which I really don't want to do. I mean, you just have no idea how many years I've been in business, and where I just don't want to have to go do things, but I have no choice. And that's challenging in life, as you know, is you have to go do things that you don't want to do. And that's why most people so look forward to retiring one day, because they don't want to have to go do things that they're told to do they just don't want to do anymore. Dogs, for the most part, are really hanging around, hanging out. The pool is fabulous. That pool really is helping the really hot weather. I mean, I got in that pool yesterday like about 4 o'clock, and I didn't get out until like 8 o'clock. Well, I had to get out for a little while, take care of some things, but I was out pool for a good 3 hours at least. And then old school Jerry was reaching out going, hey, any more videos? You know, it's just kind of it's just so hot out and just not much going on, you know? And I mean, the thing is, on my channel, I mean, I tell you it all the time, it's like, what am I going to bring you? I mean, what am I going to bring you? The daughter's no longer part of the YouTube channel. She's history. She's done. So there's no entertainment for me to get creative with her, to go ride motorcycles and video ride a motorcycle, or video her taking care of the greenhouse, or training the dogs, or whatever. And then there's no more motors, you know, there's no more going to the dealership buying things. And for the moment, there's no drama going on where the repossession guy shows up, where I can do a video where the guys show up and we start yickety-yakking and laughing and having fun as they take away my car. And but some of those will come down the road. I think the Harley, it'll be interesting to see when the Fast Johnny gets repoed. I don't know, the Roller ST, I kind of look at that. Fast Johnny payment's just too much money, so it's not worth it. So to me, it's like, let it go. Look at the creek down here. These guys come down to this area every day, and they love playing down here. In fact, you can probably actually see all their footprints in the mud. So they're down here on a regular basis, and thank goodness the turtle lives somewhere else now. That's just freaky. But they just love to be down here because it's nice shade. And I remember I was just a little sapling and started growing, and I debated whether I would cut that down. I never did. And today's a nice little shady area. Here's the pond. So you guys just love to come down here because it's the cool time for them. Then years ago, I used to weed whack this whole area here. So this was all just perfectly clean and no trees. But over the years, like, who cares? Just let it kind of grow up and take over. And I cut the grass on Saturday or Sunday. I can't keep track. And it's ready. It doesn't have to be cut yet, but it'll be cut by the end of the week, which it is what it is. So, yeah, going back to, come on, Pop, old school Jerry's like, where's the videos? Well, I don't know, man. What can I really, I've taken the politics out of the morning conversation just because it's just a waste of time. It's just a waste of time. It's just, for you to get hell-bent, which we all do it, on politics, it's a waste of time. It really is. But so many people make so much money on X just all day long, running their mouths, the hate of Donald Trump, the hate of the GOP party, and that's all they do. And these are people that you could actually go up to and go, you're just an asshole. Because that's the problem. Once you start getting labeled that you don't like the Democratic Party, which people would say, well, you don't like the Democratic Party. Well, here's the ball game. In my world, I think we should have two parties that can do a better job of running our country instead of dividing us. So why don't we just step back for a second and say to each other, we play to the Democratic Party or GOP party, but they both suck. They both suck, everybody. Elon Musk is showing on how corrupt our government is. So how can you say that, you hate the GOP party or hate the Democratic Party when they're all in bed together? They're all, once again, I talk about all the time. When is anything get less expensive? When does the taxpayers get a break? And I was talking about that last week, is on how unfair it is that the tax man gets to make more and more money off of us with everything being more expensive. Come on, puppies, come on back. So they're way down there, which doesn't really matter. They're not really going there. But anyways, whole point is I've taken the politics out of the morning conversation. So if you've noticed, because so many people are like, I'm like, yeah, okay, well, good. We're not going to talk about politics. It's a waste of time. I don't even watch. I do not. You may think I watch news. I put Fox Business News on my TV sometimes in here. I'm actually just sitting here watching it. You know why I have it on? Because I remember 911, my dad calling me and saying, turn your TV on. Because when I worked in my office, this is 2001, and believe it or not, my office used to be in my house, in the upstairs back area of that house. That house didn't look anything like it looks today. Back in 2001, it was half the size of what it was. And I'll never forget my dad calling me when I was upstairs in the back side of the house, my little office. And he said, turn your TV on. I'm like, why? He's like, the World Trade Center just got hit by an airplane. I'm like, what? So I turned my TV on, and sure enough, and then I witnessed the second plane hitting that tower. So ever since that day that happened, now I think to myself, I just have like Fox Business News on in the morning, because in today's world, if something happens, you would probably be more likely today, social media would maybe post it faster than a news source would, per se. But that's what I do. So I just learned from that lesson, leave the TV on. If anything crazy is going on, I'm going to see that. So here's the dogs now. So the dogs are all kind of just doing their thing. So let me show you the trick. This here, that is incredible on how this brings the dogs back instantly. This is my little gem that makes it so that now, there you go. Yep, there you go. All right, so he's fast. Good old Rebel. He's really running. Let's go. Let's get in the office. Got to get going for Brian to be here in a minute. Come on, let's go. Come on, come on. Got a little late start, but it's the summer months. Come on, let's go. And my good friend Tim called me last night that lives up in Jersey, and I was telling him to, get his butt down here. But I don't know. I told him, once you get the dogs a little bit more acclimated, I'm definitely going to, come on, let's go. I'm going to probably come up and go see him, which would be a really cool adventure for me. That would be a great video. That would be some good video content, because that's where I used to live from 19... Come on, Pop, let's go. Come on, come on. Get upstairs. Let's go. No. Hang on. Come on. Now, you heard the four. There you go. Come on, go. Come on, go. You guys, that would be a good video, because in 1976, 1980, that's really where I kind of really developed and had great friends and had a lot of fun. And so I told Tim I'd probably get up there hopefully and spend 2-3 days with him and just break away. But it'll be a great video, because I can show you where I used to live. It'll be pretty, in some ways, it's going to be kind of a tearjerker, because that's where my mother and father, built a custom home. We moved from California, and we moved to Virginia, or to New Jersey, which my brothers and sisters just couldn't stand, because they loved California back in the 70s and hated New Jersey. I mean, just, it was the worst. So here I am, I'm in my office, everybody, and it's very hot. I don't run the air conditioning all day long because it's too expensive. Electricity is expensive as hell. But you can see it's the doggy show in my office. As I try to get things going, I'm just keep on talking to you guys. But yeah, so that would be a nice video. That would be a good video to have me taking a ride up to Jersey, and then visit my friend Tim, and then go around and show you where I used to go to middle school and high school. But it's just more of a thing. Is that really that exciting? If you know what I mean. Here's my little phone holder. I'll probably turn my phone off doing that. But I did. Woo! It's so hot. So yeah. It's no. My business is never-ending churn. I'm in the gas station business. You guys know I'm in the vending and equipment business. You have no idea how much work it is. You have no idea. And it's a constant churn. It's a constant, you lose locations. I, every year, lose locations. And so you got to scramble. You probably saw in the Jeep that air vac machine sitting there in the back of that Jeep. Well, that was me having to rip a machine out on Sunday because the guy kicked me out of the gas station. Why? Because he just doesn't like me anymore. I'm not lying. That's just what it is. He's like, yeah, I'm sick of dealing with you. And he's sick of dealing with the customers bitching. So he's just kind of a weird guy. But the whole point is, that has been my career for 25 years. Of going out and begging people to let me put my equipment in their gas station, which is extremely challenging. I just literally told you how I got a guy 5 years. I'm not lying to you. It took me 5 years to close a guy to put an air machine and vacuum machine in his gas station. Yeah, if you think the business I'm in is simple, there's lots of competition. There's site owners sign contracts with companies that can be 5 to 10 year contracts. And if you break them, you have to pay lost profits. So it's very, 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 on the surface, it looks like, oh, yeah, sure, right. Does somebody offer me $2 million for my company right now? I'd probably, my company, is it worth that much? That'd be a little salty, but at the same time, it's going to be in the million something range. Then that's what I tell people all the time. It's like, we realize we're not. I can just sell my company today. I can settle all these deficiencies and be done and still have money. But then what am I going to do? And that's what I've been saying for so long on my channel is I was only hoping to create a social media following where I started making $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month. And then I would feel like, okay, I've got something here to kind of continue to work my way into social media and to have a future of being more of a personality through running my mouth than having the previous future of my life of being a manual labor guy. I've been a manual labor guy most of my life. That's all I've been digging ditches and pouring concrete and pulling electric, pulling phone lines, driving tractor trailers, tanker trucks. I mean, that's been most of my life. It's just hard manual labor. And I mean, the business I'm in, you have no idea how much manual labor goes into the business I'm in. So I got to go downtown today, where I got a location where the electric has all disappeared. It's a whole fiasco of electricity that I'm chasing, and Brian can't figure it out. And I tried to figure it out with him here last week. We went down there, and as I was trying to get into an electrical box out in the woods, there's a major bee's nest, and we get nailed. I got nailed big time on these bees that came out of nowhere. So I got to go back today to try to resolve an electrical problem down in DC, where I got to deal with these bees. I'm taking my wasp spray, a bunch of cans of that, but that'll turn into a major project. It's never ending. So it's the life of the Iceman that, in so many ways, wishes he could really become the social media personality that would give me a different career, because I can't do this for 10 years. I mean, no way. You know, your body starts talking to you. Hey, pups, what are you doing, huh? What are you doing? So anyways, I just share a lot of information on my channel. Some people are like, well, show us what you do and everything else. Well, I kind of give you a general thing for what I do. And it's all about relationships. And it's all about, like, I have a competitor of mine that is Middle Eastern. And, you know, whether you realize it or not, the Middle Eastern people, they're like glue. It's like the Jewish community. They're like glue. You know, they help one another. And so I have one guy that's about my age. No, he's a little younger than me. He's never, ever made one sales call. He has hundreds of gas stations, and with air machines and back machines. And I'm not lying. I met him here about a year ago because I actually got one of his gas stations because one of my customers that has like 4 or 5 stations bought his guy out. So here's the point. I got to talking to him. He's never ever made a sales call. He's never ever made a sales call because they all give each other business. They give back. So that's a whole other thing that a lot of people don't understand about business and life. So you have cultures that will literally just do business with their culture. And oh my gosh, and this goes on in my area. You have no idea how many locations I've lost because of the way I look. I'm not lying. It's amazing that I even have the business that I have from the way I look, because in this area that I'm in, if you think this is the majority of owners of gas stations in this area, you're clueless. It's not. The Middle Easterners pretty much dominate this whole market. So there's a very fine line of me having relationships where there's others out there that will never do business with me because of the way I look and who I am. Isn't that something? Is that racism? Are you going to call them out? Yeah, I can get pretty heavy and deep on what goes on in that industry, but I'm not going to do it. I mean, you have no idea what goes on in that industry and that culture and what they do and how they make it work. But I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. What'll come from it? Will my channel get bigger? No. I mean, that's the thing. Like the other day, somebody was saying, "You got to show your business." It's like, yeah, but I've like hit like every angle of, you know, if this, that, this, you know. And at the end of the day, it's the same. It's the same consistent followers, which I appreciate. But if you just look at my channel, you'll see it's the same consistent followers that come to watch my channel. And do you guys really see a lot of new names pop up in the comments? Every now and then you'll see one, maybe two, but for the most part, no. It's Vinny. Like Vinny, he's funny. Vinny thinks my rocket's ugly as hell. I was like, oh geez, tell me how you really feel. He thinks take the frickin' Honda Goldwing and just throw that thing off the cliff. Gee, tell me how you really feel. He thinks the breakout bars are ugly as hell. I'm thinking, geez, Vinny, what the hell is going on up in Pennsylvania? Everything I'm showing you on my channel you think should just be something different. So that's it. I'm going to shut up. I got to go to work. I got to go drive down to DC, hang out in DC today, sweat my ass off, try to figure out electric, and redo a job. Am I excited about that? Hell no. Hell no. I don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that. But I have no choice. And so, anyways, there you go. I thought the Mark Twain and Ernest Hemingway. So why did the Ernest? So it's interesting if you watch how he was brought up. His mother used to dress he and his sister up and swap their identities as far as like, you know, boy, girl, boy. So very interesting to look at the upbringing of parents and how parents raise their kids and who they become to be. And I'm sure many of you here have sisters and brothers can probably relate with that. It's like, yeah, many could say, you know, for who I raised, you'd be like, wow, right. All right, that's it. I got to go. So God bless. Have a great day.